Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. As you can see today, on the screen we've got some big deck energy. This is Yorion Niv in Pioneer from Patreon subscriber Wash. Niv is a deck that's existed as long as Pioneer has. I did a lot of testing for the first ever Pioneer Pro Tour right before the pandemic. It was in Phoenix, Arizona. I ended up playing Dimir Inverter. Man, remember that deck? But the format was largely unexplored at the time, and we were digging in all sorts of stuff. And Bring to Light Niv Mizzet was a huge part of our testing process. This deck was very hot. I think Niv Mizzet Reborn was like somewhere between 30 and 60 tickets on Magic Online during that era. It was a hot card, hot deck. And that card is the base of this deck. That's the Niv and Niv. This is a 5-mana 6/6, costs Woburg. When it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each color pair, choose a card that's exactly those colors from among them. Put the chosen card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This ability requires some specific deck building in that we play not only colored pairs, but lots of diverse ones, because we want to hit as many cards as we can off of Niv Mizzet, and we want options when we do it. The other half of the deck's title is Bring to Light. This is the To Light in Niv to Light. 3 green-blue, converge. Search your library for a creature, instant, or sorcery with mana value less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent to cast this spell. Exile that card, then shuffle. You may cast the card without paying its mana cost. If you put 5 colors of mana into this, which is the goal, you could search your deck for any of the instants, creatures, or sorceries in your deck, which, hint hint, is all of them. The only things you can't get off of Bring to Light in the deck are there's a battle. There's these 3 enchantments in Reflection of Jiki and Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and there is 4 Leyline Binding. Every other card in the deck can be retrieved with Bring to Light, and this is just redundant copies of Niv Mizzet for when you need to refill your hand, and it lets you, despite being an 80-card deck, fill the deck with spicy one-ofs like Supreme Verdict and Klothys and Kolaghan's Command, because you can find them when you need them. One of the spicy things Wash is doing is Wandering Mind. It's a 2/1 flyer for 1 and Is It. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This is cool because it's an Is It card for the color pairs on Niv Mizzet. It is in a good spot on your curve. As you work your way up to 5 mana, Wandering Mind helps you dig for Bring to Lights. And it's dope with Yorion, because we are a Yorion deck too, and this is a really cool thing to flicker, just more and more card advantage as we go. And rather than go card by card explaining what every single one does, like we basically have some ramp and some fixing, and we have some one-of spells that Niv Mizzet or Bring to Light can find, and then we have Niv Mizzet at the top and Omnath to pay out all the work we've done. This is a mid-range skewing on control deck, and I love this deck. I don't know that it's what I would select for a PPTQ, and I know Wash is out there really grinding for PPTQs. I don't think this deck is bad. It's not in the top of the Goldfish metagame if you're just looking at raw data, but I do love playing this deck. It's a deck I respect a lot. It's a deck that scares the crap out of me as Rakdos mid, because they just have so many cards and they're all bigger than yours. It's a very cool deck. Let's go do this thing. This is Wash's Niv to Light. I'm on the play in round 1 with a turn 4 Niv Mizzet. We keep these. It's even turn 3 Omnath into turn 4 Niv Mizzet. My goodness. Get my Triumph out there and hope I don't get Thoughtseized along the way. Blooming Marsh, bummer. Spoken into existence. Now they can decide if they want to try to fight over one of these top end bangers or try to cut Sylvan Caryatid out from under me. My hand casts Omnath just fine without Caryatid though, so that can't be right. Okay. Leaving me with the Niv. Here's Caryatid and go. Werewolf pack leader. Okay. Some sort of Golgari attacking strategy. Drew another Caryatid. And here's the overgrown tomb that they know about. They have a window right now to Thoughtseize me again. If they don't, I'm going to Niv Town. For 4 mana, this can become a 5/3. And if you attack with 6 or more total power, you draw a card. Neither of those things are happening right now. Disappointing. They timed this really well. They knew that Niv Mizzet wouldn't be a problem until turn 4, and they might have had the Thoughtseize last turn, but they could afford to add to their board instead. Makes sense. Let's just draw some other banger. Jetmir's Garden. Not the banger I wanted. I could cycle Garden and see if that comes up with something, or I could put Yorion in my hand and then cycle Garden in the end step. I think I'd rather do that. Yep, just get Yorion. 2 Thoughtseizes. Turn this hand from holy smokes to kind of puttering out. Thoughtseize is a good card. Certainly one of the most objectively powerful cards legal in Pioneer. Vintage playable Magic card. Graveyard Trespasser. Disappointing. I do have Kolaghan's Command in my deck. Would have been nice to rebuy a creature. Elvish Mystic. Okay, end step, cycle the Garden. Look for some spell that I can cast. Growth Spiral is technically a spell I can cast. Omnath is a spell I can cast. Alright. Red, white, green, blue. Draw card is Growth Spiral. I can play a land and then cast Growth Spiral. If I hit another land, I have Yorion, and then I'm just going nuts. Okay, I am going to shock in Sea Vents. Get to gain 4 life. And green, blue. Come on, untap mana source. Wandering Mind. Disappointing. Okay. I could have not taken 2 to do that at instant speed. But I think the upside there of putting Yorion into play, flickering all my stuff, and drawing another card with Omnath right away is pretty significant. Omnath met a swift end, and then they could attack with creatures with total power 6 or greater. They get to draw a card here. Here it is. They get to draw a card. They get to exile a creature from my graveyard. And I'm not blocking. These 0/3s don't line up against their 3 power creatures, but they are keeping the Mutavaults at bay. Uh-oh, more creatures. Oh no, they'll be drawing 2 cards a turn. I'd love a Supreme Verdict here. Leyline Binding. Okay. That should cost 1, right? Yep, okay. Just had to check. Wandering Mind. And hit Supreme Verdict here. Okay, so I go blue, red, colorless off of Overgrown Tomb. That leaves... Oh yeah, as long as Caryatids are up, I have any mana I could ever want. Wandering Mind. Abrupt Decay and Vanishing Verse. Cool. Exile target monocolored permanent, destroy target permanent. Yeah, alright. Vanishing Verse. Probably better. Black, white. I'm just doing this now. I don't want them drawing 3 cards a turn, that's for sure. And they just played a Boseiju from hand, which is nice, because that's an answer to Leyline Binding that no longer exists. Now that Wandering Mind's in play, I have a real card to flicker with Yorion. It's not just a 4/5 booty, it's actually card advantage. Reading the words on this, make sure it doesn't gain hexproof or anything. It does not. Leyline Binding, get in there. That thing's gone. I'm still taking 4 here. I'm not ready to... Maybe I'm supposed to block at this point. And going to 4, I don't love, but this is the turn where I Yorion, and then I don't care about this creature anymore. Okay. I'm going to continue taking my beats and hope that they can't deal 4 out of nowhere. This deck doesn't look like it knows how to cast Invoke Despair. Another pack leader, my goodness. Niv Mizzet Reborn. That's got to be better than Yorion. White, red, blue, black, green. Alright, Niv. Can we stabilize this board? Show me potato salad. Oh wow, no decisions to make. These are just the cards I get. And they're all really good. So I'll take it. Okay, I'm gonna pass the turn. I'm gonna kill this werewolf at the start of their combat again. And then I have real blockers that can do stuff. Leaving back all my blockers. I have a sweeper that kills their stuff but leaves my Niv. Or I could bring to light for a better one. Oh no, they're doing stuff in my end step. This is bad. Collected Company. This might actually kill me. It was very close anyway. I need some whiffs. Oh, we're out of creatures in the graveyard though. That's good. So Graveyard Trespasser doesn't get the drain. Jabronis. Oh no. That's really bad. That gives trample to stuff. Lissa Sunslayer. Jesus. Alright, well, we've lost this game by exactly 1 mana here. At 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ronus is exactly active. If I kill the werewolf, they lose Ronus. They can give 2 things +2/+0 and trample in the meantime, though. Oh, now they can give 0 things +2/+0 and trample. Interesting. Or Elvish Mystic is still up. Shit. Okay. I think they're gonna get me for Xaxes here, or for like 1 too many creatures. Still not quite exactly. I have to let them go into combat because I need to be able to block with my Caryatids. This means they get to draw a card with a werewolf. Oh, Ronus is already off. That makes this slightly easier. Oh, and they attacked with their Elvish Mystic. No creatures to drain. That extra life point might be worth a lot here. Or I might be dead anyway. Oh, it actually looks like they have me dead anyway. Okay, let's see. Block Mutavault, block Mutavault, block. Oh no, okay. I'm doing okay here. Glissa, I want to Abrupticate that one, I think. I lose my Wandering Mind, but that's better than losing the game. Ronus does cost 3 to activate. Yeah, I think they win if they just leave back Elvish Mystic. They might win anyway. I can't let Glissa deal damage to me. I'm just deciding if I'm gonna Abrupticate Glissa or Vanishing Verse. I think I'm gonna Abrupticate Glissa. Okay. These are my blocks. All of these cards are face up. This Abrupticate should not come as a surprise. Yeah, I appear to be at 3 life and completely stable on the board, if I'm interpreting this correctly. Yeah, not attacking with that Elvish Mystic wins them the game there. Yep, okay. They kind of a shame scoop, like, I mean, I have stuff going on here, my hand's full of gas, but that was a tough combat for the opponent. Even if they just don't even wake up a Mutavault, just leave up as many Ronus activations as possible. So I even sideboard in this matchup. We saw Thoughtseize and then a bunch of green and black creatures. This is exactly the kind of matchup that our deck should chew up and spit out. And Bankbuster is basically for this kind of matchup too. This battle, it makes a treasure and then you can rummage. And on the flip side, it's a 3/4 trample. And when it flips, you can search your deck for a land or battle. Put it in your hand. Yeah, that seems fine. Anything that happens low on the curve seems fine. Lothus might not really be for this matchup. Elish Norn. What did they do with ETB triggers? Nothing. Yeah, I mean, doubling my own triggers is cool, but it's shutting down 0 of theirs. That doesn't seem great. Removal's great. Scarab God is solid. Everything that costs less than 4 has to stay in my deck. Nahiri's removal, Omnath. That Omnath trigger, the one Omnath trigger I got that game, was the 4 life I won the game with. Shout out to Omnath. Niv Mizzet Supreme gives cards in your graveyard jumpstart. And they did show me that they beat up my graveyard kind of incidentally. Yeah, it might be Niv Mizzet Supreme. Just sort of a big banger that this matchup doesn't really need more bangers in. I just need good fundamentals and then get to my top end stuff, and it'll go over the top of them. I don't need this crazy grindy stuff. I like this hand. Makes a bunch of mana, casts Growth Spiral, and it doesn't specifically fall apart to a Thoughtseize. Keep Sage you as their land on a mull to 6. That's good because Leyline Binding is part of my plan. Indatha Triome plus Steam Vents gets me 5 colors of mana, so I can turn to a Leyline Binding for 1 mana if I want. If I want to skip the Growth Spiral. I can even shock in Steam Vents, Growth Spiral, shock in Fountain, and still Leyline Binding. Costs a lot of life, but huge turn. That sounds really good, actually. Back Leader plus Mutavault. Oh, Deafening Clarion. Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the beats to make growth spiral happen this turn. And I'll just pass here. Because it costs me 2 life to shock in the Hallowed Fountain, and it costs me 3 life to take a hit from this werewolf. And if I can save my Leyline Binding and then just growth spiral and play Deafening Clarion next turn, and it kills all the same creatures, actually more creatures, for 1 extra life total loss. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that, unless they do something messed up here. Oh, this is a card draw, isn't it? Yeah, them drawing a card here, I don't like, so I will go the other way. Firing up the Mutavault tells me that they need the card advantage. Shock in Hallowed Fountain, play Leyline Binding. Take the werewolf out. Right, I'm under some pressure, but Valky can look at their hand on the fair and square. See if there's a creature in there I want. I'll take an Elvish Mystic here. They're on Scrappy Mutavault beats. Oh, Boston Banks. I can't activate it this turn. I think I'm still going to Valky. What you got over there? Elvish Mystic. I will take that, and I will... I think I can cast this, right? How does this work? Oh, it turns into it. Oh, bummer. That's less exciting than I thought. I was thinking of Hostage Taker. It's been a while since I played with the front half of Valky. Alright, their hand's bad, though. Good to know. It's 1 Elvish Mystic and a Heartless Act that they can't cast right now. I am pretty happy to trade Valky for a Mutavault here, too, if they want to get rowdy. Yep, firing up the vault. This is great, because I'm sitting on this sweeper, and by blocking, I give them back their creature. I kill the land, which is the thing I couldn't kill. And now they're incentivized to dump out... Oh, please dump out double Elvish Mystic. Holy moly. Alright, this thing. That was their top deck. It saved them from the cruel fate of getting 3 for 1, but I'm still gonna put them in the Shadow Realm. Deal 3 to each creature. Red, white, colorless. Buy your creatures. Fabled Passage is gonna plus the bank. What color do I need? I have black, white, green, blue, red, green, black, white, red, blue. I don't think it matters. If this deck has a base color, I think it's green, so I'm gonna get green. Is that right? I have 2 green sources already. I have 2 blue. I only have 1 red source. There's no double red cards. Alright, I'm just gonna get a forest. Okay, Bankbuster's in. Opponent has 2 Elvish Mystics and a Heartless Act in their hand. I'm about to start bringing things to light. No, I'm not, because they're done. That's a perfectly reasonable response to what's going on here. Yeah, barely touched the sideboard. This sort of matchup is exactly the thing we're trying to chew up and spit out, and we did exactly that. On to the next one. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. I'm on the draw for round 2 with some ramp and card selection. I'm going to keep. This is also a turn for Bring to Light, assuming that any of the top 3 or 4 cards in my deck is a land. As far as HQ from the opponent. Okay, now I gotta figure out how to sequence these things. There is no white mana in this hand. Oh no, Jetmir's Garden. Okay, that's fine. Woodland Cemetery doesn't count for Leyline Binding, but it does come into play untapped with any of the other lands that I have. Green-red, but blue-green's better. I'm going to lead on Jetmir's Garden. And I'll probably shock in Breeding Pool to cast Growth Spiral. Unless something dramatically changes between now and then. Oh dear. We are against the Discontinuity deck. Breeding Pool, shock it in. Yeah, there's a Lotus Field control deck that's actually really good right now. Oh, I think I just messed up. Because if they Discontinuity in response to this Growth Spiral... Okay, they're going to do it in response to the Lotus Field. Oh, they pass priority. Okay, they just don't have discontinuity. Cool. We might still get comboed out next turn, which, not ideal. Generally speaking, in Magic the Gathering, you don't want to get comboed out. Omnath, okay. This one has to be green, blue, red, white. I do have Omnath here. Okay. Let's do it. I don't have a follow-up land drop available, but this is easily the best thing I can do with my mana this turn. I'll take the card and pass. I have Fabled Passage to go into the Stratosphere next turn, if we get a next turn. We know they have Field Stage. Okay, they are copying their field with a white in the pool. So I have Bring to Light and the ability to cast it. What can I do with that? I know there's a Slaughter Games in the sideboard. What do I have in the main for this? Looks like basically nothing. Yeah, none of these cards interact with the lands that they have or their deck or strategy at large. I guess my first step is going to be make a land drop with Omnath. I can try to at least pop off a little bit here. This comes in at 5, so I can't even kill it right away. Okay, I'm going to fetch and then cast Bring to Light or something. Waves Hand in the air. Is it Elish Norn? Is it possible that, like, there's some payoff creature in their deck or some payoff thing? But probably not, because permanent entering the battlefield don't cause triggers. That enables their stuff. Okay, no, that's not it. And I'll get a red. And I have a boat of mana here. I gotta Bring to Light for the full 5. And I'm probably just getting a Niv. There's no Thought Erasure or anything in this deck. Just hit 2 on Niv. That's disappointing. And I play Nahiri. That's not helpful, though. Probably just play Fable. And leave up Leyline Binding. It's weird that this was not an exciting Pioneer turn 4, based on what my opponent is presenting. Like, normally I'd be like, good luck, idiot. But I might just, lose in 1,000 different ways here. Fairy, Hero of Dom, okay. And I can remove that. In response to this, I'm going to Leyline Bind. I just want this gone before they can end the turn in response to a spell. They still get to untap 2. And that's good. Okay, let's see if they end the turn in my upkeep, or what the plan is here. They did not end the turn in the upkeep. They did not end the turn in response to Fable trigger. Okay. I have this weird feeling that they might just not end my turn here. I'm gonna make sure I get my land in before combat, in case they do end the turn. And I will begin my attacks. It's going straight for the dome in combat before we do anything else. God, is my wreckage getting settled? Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fair. I would like all these lands. I only have 2 left, but I'll take them. Okay, I have tons of mana. And there are no creatures in the graveyard for the Scarab God to take advantage of. Nahiri and this Invasion. Is that the 2? Or Wandering Mind could get something going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can Wandering Mind and then still Nahiri. Red, blue, colorless. A pair of Leyline Bindings. And I'll take it. That is the thing I get. And I can Nahiri and cycle away Ziator's Proving Ground. That's just like cycling, only instead of costing me 3 mana, it costs me 4 and I get a Planeswalker. Discard Proving Ground, Deafening Clarion. Not what I want in this matchup, but it's all good. They have 1,000,000 mana in their pool. March of Otherworldly Light, exiling Binding, which gives them back to Fairy. I do have another Binding for that someday, but they get the important untap on my turn. In the meantime, another Binding, cool. So if they held up 1 piece of interaction, I now have 2. Nahiri goes off at 8, so I'm going to plus her. Deafening Clarion, not for this matchup. Rockern Triome, whatever. And I'm going to attack to Fairy. This attack probably doesn't matter, because I'm going to leyline bind it anyway. And maybe I'm just supposed to go face there. And I'm going to play this Rummage Battle. Next turn, Nahiri can throw a Niv Mizzet into play, and I can reload my hand if that's where I want to be. Discard Rockrun Triome. Bring to light. Okay. I think I want to fight over this Teferi first. I'm going to go in there upkeep. They've seen one of these bindings. They haven't seen the other. Get rid of Teferi, at least on a temporary basis. Putting Yorion in hand was basically free there. I don't need all this mana. Little bleeds here and there. That's how you lose PPTQs, or RCQs, or whatever they're called now. I can now Reflection of Kiki-Jiki in my Wandering Mind. That's spicy. I'm going to start the turn by doing that. Wandering Mind. Make a copy. Vanishing first, monocolored permanent. Does this deck play Omniscience, or like what? How do they actually win? Shark Typhoon? Okay, I'll take the Vanishing Verse. And I think I'm gonna minus Nahiri and get a Niv Mizzet in the mix. Or, I mean, their hand is full of gas at this point, maybe not. I'm actually gonna plus Nahiri, discarding my Fabled Passage. I've made my decision. Abrupt Decay, cool. If I had attacked appropriately last turn, this battle would be winnable right now. Instead, I'm just going to go face. Okay. And I can Niv here, or I can bring to light here. I don't think I need or want to actually do anything. But I can at least put Yorion in hand, which I didn't do last turn. 1, 2, 3. Nope, I need that black, or I have black here. Black, white. Okay. I left up enough mana to Abrupt Decay, Vanishing Verse, and Leyline Binding. Memory Deluge in the end step. Okay. This is how they reload. This is almost as good as Reflection plus Wandering Mind. Almost. Deluged into Deluge. The second one might be as good as Wandering Mind. Beseiju my Binding. I'm trying to figure out if there's a stack trick that lets me answer Teferi. I don't think so. Put a Triome into play. How about Spar's HQ? Yeah, they get priority immediately on the Teferi. If they just use this, then it's done. If they do anything else, alright, cool. They did not do anything else. Doomscar, destroy all creatures. Yep, that's fair. My creatures are destroyed. I'm going to bind their Leyline in the end step here before they untap their lands. If they discontinuity in response to this binding, then they also don't get their untap trigger, which is small peanuts, but still relevant. Polygon's Command. Alright, it's time to -8 Nahiri. This puts a Niv Mizzet into play, and it gets haste, then it comes back to my hand at the end of the turn. Yeah, I fully expect discontinuity here. And is there something I want to do in response? Like a Polygon's Command. Does that do anything? Not really. Yeah, that's fine. The turn is over. That was going to get me eventually. The whole deck is built around that card. Being able to do it on a Planeswalker feels better than using a spell on it. I have Graveyard Hate in the main. Just Clothis. Yeah, that's pretty mid. I would like to exile these Deluges before they start deluging me. I'm also way behind on time because I spent some time trying to figure out what their deck is. This is a really bad matchup to be down 5 minutes on the clock in. Farewell. Exile all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. This will also bring back Teferi. I think I can safely concede this game. Okay, in the interest of time, let's try this again. Yeah, like we saw in round 1, where going way over the top of mid-range deck. In here, we're the mid-range deck, and they are the way over the top deck. Slaughter Games, Veto, Bank Buster. There's a lot of good stuff for this matchup. Thoughtseize, even Rest in Peace is good, because Memory Deluge is so a big part of the plan. No Blank's good too. Literally all non-Yorion cards at least have some text on them. Oh god, okay. Supreme Verdict, Deafening Clarion, Lothus, Sunfall, Eilish Norn. Scarab God is not good against a creatureless deck when I'm bringing in Rest in Peace. Dreadbore's good. Abrupt Decay seems pretty medium. Vanishing Verse, where are you? You seem medium. Valky is the type of thing that can win a game and do it quickly. He's solid. Polygon's Command. Yeah, the best mode of that doesn't work with Rest in Peace in play either. Not that it's always going to be there, but at least having the option is nice. Invasion of Urgamon. Am I ever going to be able to pressure this and make it a creature? Alright, build 14 card sideboard. Let's go. This hand casts spells and ramps into relevant stuff. I'm going to keep it. Doth a Triumph, go. I'm also playing fast here to try to make time for a game 3. Just already have my buns in gear. And do I want to bust banks right away? I think that might be better than Growth Spiral. Yeah. As much as ramping is good, I don't even have land 4 lined up yet. And this is the type of thing that comes down before their interaction and can really mess up their day. Does land go from them? I'd rather draw a card here than play Caryatid into counterspells. Watery Grave, ETB. Found land number 4. Rest in Peace, I like that. I can play my land, and then I can Rest in Peace later. By Caryatid first. Cool. And then pass the turn. They can March of Otherworldly Light, but Bankbuster here, and if I fetch, they can do it, and I don't get to draw a card, so we're going to have to play cat and mouse around this fetch for a little bit. Unless they just commit to the play, then I fetch, and we do it. And there's this weird little sub-game with Bring to Light, which is Bring to Light casts the spell you choose. So a person may let Bring to Light resolve with the intention of casting the thing you get out of it, but if the thing I get out of it is Slaughter Games, then you're out of luck. They're copying Deserted Beach in response, or in the end step here. Just fixing their colors. I'm going to draw a card with Bankbuster while the getting's good. And I think if my Bring to Light resolves, I'm going to Slaughter Game Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. As Rest in Peace answers the Memory Deluge, which is the other card I'm worried about. I don't think you just name Lotus Field, because then they function as a pretty normal blue-8 control deck, and they just have to hit their land drops. All Storm Giants, okay. I'm going to play the Jetmir's Garden, and then I'm going to cast the Bring to Light. Red, black, blue, white, green. Let's hope they F around and find out on what I'm getting, and they don't just counter the Bring. Alright, they're just snapping off mana here. Dovin's Veto, sure. Okay. Good call. They knew what to do there. I could have played Wandering Mind and activate Bankbuster that turn. Maybe that's better, because it just doesn't play into Dovin's Veto. So, obviously, I was just hoping that they chickened out on the Bring to Light. But if they have Veto and I get any creature, then it doesn't even make sense to go that route. And they suddenly have 2 Lotus Fields. Rootbound Crag, okay. We go with a Wandering Mind. And I found another Bring to Light, which I'm a mana short of casting currently. Maybe I take Dreadbore and just invest in the inevitable Teferi here. And I could play Rest in Peace now. I don't think it's time for that, though. My bank can bust this turn. Busting banks makes a treasure. Okay. I think I'm going to bust the bank now. And then play another Wandering Mind. Leyline Binding in my hand, a bunch of stuff to the bottom. Okay. This might have been what I was supposed to do last turn. There's Teferi. Teferi plus. And they foretold a card. Alright. Probably Doomscar. Unless this deck plays Alrund's Epiphany. Is that card legal in Pioneer? Probably. No, I feel like that's probably not one they banned. Okay. I have a bunch of answers here to Teferi. I'm going to start with attacking it for 5. Apparently I'm attacking BoshNRoll. Thanks, Magic Online. Okay, they're discontinuitying, which means I should cast my instants if I want to cast them. Green, blue. And put this Stomping Ground into play tapped. And I also have this Leyline Binding at the ready. exile Teferi, and I can cycle Rockrun Triumph wherever, whenever, however. Here's a farewell, exiling all my stuff. Load a white. And I'm going to cycle in response to Teferi activation so they can't discontinuity and stifle it. Might even hit another Leyline Binding here. Nope. Alright, Slaughter Games. After the fact here, and if I can get this Dreadbore to resolve, that's pretty big. And then I can take the rest of the Teferis, but oh my god. Strict Proctor into Lotus Field number 3. 3 cards left in their hand. Scary time to be me. I might lead on Rest in Peace, just trying to think of spells that are scary enough to counter. Oh, that one works too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, red. Oh, whenever a permanent. Nope. Okay. And Strict Proctor. Beating. But they know about Dreadbore, so I'm not gonna, like, get them with anything here. Red. Black. Dreadbore. Does it work? Nope. Discontinuity. Jeez. That's a powerful engine. That even counters Slaughter Games. Just ends the turn before games can even be played. Oh, the fourth field. Or a fourth field. This one's a Thespian stage. Lots going on over there. All of it's bad for me. And begin the beatdowns. In for one with Strict Proctor. There's Dream Trawler. Okay. I cannot win this game. They're too far ahead. I could spend my last 8 minutes on the clock slowly losing. Or I can just go on to the next round, which is what I'm going to choose to do here. That turn where I just jammed the Bring to Light, hoping that they let the Slaughter game slide through, probably should have just been Wandering Mind plus some other thing. I had 5 mana worth of stuff I could do that wasn't Bring to Light, like double spell, get myself ahead a little bit. I think that would have been a better use of my resources. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw for round 3. Gonna have to mulligan this one. And this one, at least cast Growth Spiral. I'm in. Keep it. And Deafening Clarion, not castable by any of my things. I think I'm going to send to Hiri, though. There are decks in the format where Deafening Clarion is the one of that you need in your life. And even if I can't cast it yet, I'm on the draw. I have Growth Spiral. We'll try to make it happen. Botanical Sanctum. Cool. Another Growth Spiral. Not upset with that. I'll be upset when I miss my land drop. But currently doing okay with that. Botanical Sanctum, I think, is usually in Lotus Field decks, and my opponent mulled to 5. Seems like the dragon they're chasing. I'll play Watery Grave and pass the turn. This Invasion actually is pretty decent if I can get red under me. And there's the Lotus Field. Okay, deck. Land? Yeah. Not just a land, but one that has all the colors that I was currently missing. Still can't cast Deafening Clarion, but it's a step in the right direction. Savai Triumph. Now we're doing it. Okay, green, blue. I'm gonna rotate or Growth Spiral now in case I hit a land that casts the Invasion, which it does, for the record. Red, green, and I'm gonna rummage away this Deafening Clarion because this is not a matchup for this. This hand came together beautifully. Those Growth Spirals were perfect. Discard Clarion and pass the turn. Once again, we're in a spot where I am threatening a Niv Mizzet with mana to spare and Leyline Binding all active on the end of my 3rd turn, and I'm still like, yeah, we're probably losing. Lotus Field is cracko. I think I'm just going to play Niv with what I have. Got green, black. Nope. Gotta figure out how this mana's coming. Green, white. Nope. Oh my god. Is it? It must be here, right? This one can make black. Blue, black, white, red, green. Okay, found it. Jeez. MTGO harder than IRL, because in IRL I would have just turned those lands sideways and said Niv Mizzet. Okay, I have to choose one of the Bring Delights. I choose that one. And then I think Kolagon's Command is better than Dreadbore, though they're both kind of bad in the matchup. And Vanishing Verse, I could hold that up. It might do something. I don't know. If they go for an Omniscience, I can exile it. Yeah, pretty good turn 4, and still casually dead. Pour over the pages. The pages are pouring upon. That's what's on the pages. Porn. Don't know how we got here, but that's where we are. This guy's a sicko. Another Thespian stage. Impulse. Yep. Off you go, having the time of your life. Dark Petition. Spell Mastery is 2 spells. Yep. Okay. Wow, that's really easy to get. Okay. Dark Petition, and they are a Spellmaster. 4 mana in the pool. Hidden Strings. Untapping the things. 4 cards left in hand after this. Here comes an Ultimatum, it looks like. Yep, Emergent Ultimatum. Search your library for 3 monocolor cards with different names and exile them. An opponent chooses one of those cards, shuffle that card into your library. You may cast the others. Okay. This is my chance to try to exile an Omniscience. I imagine this deck is constructed in a fashion that you could simply... Oh god. Discard your hand, search your library for 3 cards, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Is that even good? Pour over the pages, and Chandra Hope's Beacon. Never seen this card. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. Yikes. Add 2 mana in any combination. Exile the top 5 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may cast an instant or sorcery among them. Yeah, probably not that one. Though Demonic Tutoring for 3 cards, also pretty horrific. Pour over the pages, doubling that. It's all bad. Every single bit of it. And they will have priority immediately if they go Chandra, then Pour. I don't think I can give them 3 Demonic Tutors. Alright. I'll put that one away. As much as doubling Pour over the pages seems awful for me, 3 Demonic Tutors seems worse. Okay, and this is how this works. Alright, they have to cast them all at the same time, so they don't get to double this spell with Chandra. It's the next one. Here she is. Pour over the pages, doubles immediately. No reason to exile Chandra now. She's already done her damage. She could still plus and find an instant or sorcery, but I don't think cards are their gate here. Okay, here's Omniscience. I'm going to fetch and response. This is my last chance to do anything this game. I'll probably cast some spell in response, and then... Or cast some spell that wins the game, or at least does enough. Hidden Strings, interesting. Alright. This might have been bait because they knew about Vanishing Verse and still just cast Hidden Strings instead of a banger. Whatever. This is all I could do this turn. You're on your own now, opponent. Have fun. Impulse in response. Yep, they can spew off any instance they have in response to my removal spell. Omniscience is a potent permanent. A potent game piece. Okay, Omniscience is gone. Now they just have to go off with their 2 Lotus Fields and 6 cards in hand. The old-fashioned way. And they still have a Chandra activation for either mana or digging for a spell. All I get recovery, picked up Pour over the pages. And they just use Chandra to get Pour over the pages going. That's interesting. And Otawara, my Niv Mizzet? Wow. Waging Satyr. This is not someone who has the combo locked up. Interesting. Hey, here we are with a turn I didn't expect us to get. And Chandra still exists. Don't like that. It doesn't have to. I can bind it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. That's enough to Wandering Mind, K Command, and exile the Chandra. Is there a Bring to Light banger? Elish Norn, I don't believe, helps me here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna draw a card with Wandering Mind, see what it is, and then make decisions from there. K command is red, black, and Leyline Binding is white. There's a black in my hand, red, red, white, or red, red, white. Okay, I need a red source here. I'm going to use the one that is not also white, red, blue. I spend this colorless. Yeah, this works. Okay, Wandering Mind. Bring to Light, Sunfall. Another Binding. I think I'm getting Binding here. And then Polygon's Command to make them discard a card and kill their Satyr. Black, red, colorless. And then I'm going to exile Chandra. I just feel like constricting their resources wherever I can is how I need to spend this turn, because I can't go over the top of their combo. If they have it, they have it, and they didn't have it last turn. So taking the Satyr knocks 3 mana out from under them, taking the Chandra knocks more mana and the double spell and the dig out from under them. Okay. All of this is borrowed time. I did not think we were getting last turn, much less any subsequent turns from here. Dig through time. Yeah, that's a good card. I've heard of that one. Pretty glad they didn't get 2 of it with Chandra. Cycling a Vizier. Another Vizier. Oh, but they floated mana with their second petal, or second field. That's scary. It's another ultimatum. Hidden Strings. Oh, Omniscience from hand. The second Omniscience. Yeah, now we're just dead. Okay. Well, let's see how this deck wins the game, and then I can decide if cards like Aelish Norn are important. Lear can fire off things from the graveyard. There's no way that can be the card I give them. Just give all spells another round. This format needs to Fairy Time Reveler. If I dare say. They targeted Otawara with Bolligad Recovery, so Otawara can bounce Leyline Binding, which gives them Chandra, and then they can do double stuff. Yep, okay. Oh, 2 ultimatums. Oh good, I can't possibly win. I was already dead, but this is completely insane. Just have to deny Lear at all opportunities. Bolligad Recovery targeting Bolligad Recovery. Oh my god, they're storming out. Still can't give you Lear. Hidden Strings and Sylvan Scrying. They do still have a land drop this turn. They haven't played a land in a long time, actually. Searched up both Seiju, who endures. Oh, they just minus Chandra. Oh, right, because Bolligad Recovery can pick it back up. I see. I see the combo. Yeah, Chandra's ability to just delete herself, and then you can pick it back up. Pretty cool. And you do that enough times. She's also a win condition. Bolligad Recovery, targeting Dark Petition. That'll get the Lear, and then refire the whole graveyard at me. Spells can't be countered. Each instant and sorcery in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback is equal to that card's mana cost. Oh wait, this doesn't work with Omniscience. Omniscience is from your hand. You do have to actually play the flashback. And then the card gets exiled. And this looks enough to just Chandra me 3 times with Bolligad Recoveries. Yeah, you can certainly pour over the pages enough times to make that happen. You have to Chandra me 2 more times after this one. But each one doubles the spell on the way through. This is cool. I've never seen this Chandra in play before. I'm learning right now. Sorry if this is boring. But we gotta know how decks work so we can sideboard for them, and for our own information in the future. So Thespian Sage just turned into a lair of the Hydra. Weird. Oh, that's gonna kill me this turn? Cool, okay. We're finding all the spicy win conditions. Yeah, that lair does not have Summoning Sickness, and then that plus the Chandra is 11. Cool. Yep, that works. It was weird, but it got there. I am at 1, and if you minus your Chandra, I lose the game. They figured out. They found the line. Okay, cool. Well, there was that. Thoughtseize, Dovin's Veto coming in, Slaughter Games. Go blank seems important. My god, is this another 11 card sideboard situation? I think it is. Yeah, Aelish Norn helps them. They're not a creature deck in any sort of conventional sense. Lothus, too slow, and a non-bow with Rest in Peace. Vanishing Verse kills Lear. Abrupt Decay, I don't think does anything. Dreadbore doesn't do anything. And we saw Voyaging Satyr. I guess that's technically a card that exists. Do I want to acknowledge Voyaging Satyr with the Abrupt Decays or Dreadbores at all? Niv Mizzet Supreme doesn't work with Rest in Peace either. Maybe I'll bring an Abrupt Decay back in. And the rest of these cards look fine. Okay. Here we are again. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. This is a serious issue with the position of this deck in the metagame, as being the slow, grindy, fair Yorion deck built to chew up fair decks, and then you just get smeared by unfair decks. I will keep this hand. Does this hand actually cast Wandering Mind? It does not. Yuck. Okay. I would need a blue source for this hand to function, and I don't think Rest in Peace wins the game on its own. Yeah, actually, I have to mulligan this. This hand looks sweet. Yeah, I actually have to mulligan this. My lands just don't make blue, and all of my non-Rest in Peace cards are that color. This is air quotes better. It still doesn't cast spells, but the spells are better. I think that's my tiebreaker. Like, not a single card in my hand is castable right now, but Thoughtseize, Dovin's Veto are exactly the type of things I want to be doing in the matchup, rather than Omnath. Okay, deck. Watery Grave off the top, please. I don't ask for much. Or Sylvan Caryatid would be cool. Growth Spiral that I cannot cast. Okay, Moment of Truth. Blue or black mana, send this hand into space. Blue or black, blue or black. Oh no. Uh-oh, uh-oh. We're in the danger zone. That was the turn we needed to Thoughtseize. Or we would have liked to Thoughtseize. Okay, they still don't have a thing. On deck. They didn't have the turn 3 field. I don't know what that means. It means they're holding up interaction instead, or they've pivoted onto something that I can't beat. Come on, deck. Untap black source. My life is pain. And I could have mulliganed, but also, like, this hand was just so almost good. I think I have to discard Niv Mizzet. That's just the one that is so far away from being useful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, we were drawing to a 20 plus outer. Oh my god. And now we're just gonna lose all in one shot. Thoughtseize. Oh my god, Spara's HQ. Next turn, maybe. Yeah, great. This is gonna show up right after I can't Dovin's Veto an ultimatum. Yeah, roughly a third of my deck was good draws there, and we've had 5 draw steps and just hit one. Obviously it can happen, but I'm just trying to, I'm not like tilting off and saying how unlucky I'm getting. I'm just trying to actually work through the math of that keep and if it actually is reasonable at all. And I think it is. There's way more lands in the deck and color fixers and sources of mana than there are Thoughtseizes and Dovin's Vetoes, which are the potent sideboard cards for the matchup. And obviously, Magic the Gathering, you gotta cast your spells, blah, 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 but also you have to have your spells to cast them. Which side of the coin do you want to flip to? You're basically just calling heads or tails on a keep like that. I hope they're respecting Leyline Binding, Zakama, Primal Calamity. So you untap all your lands, and then this card goes completely nuts. Okay, cool. It would be great here, that Leyline Binding. Nope, it wouldn't, because Zakama just kills it. Never mind. I guess I had a window right when it came into play before it untapped the lands that might have been okay. Okay. I believe they've figured it out. I don't need to make us all sit here for 7 minutes while they click around. Maybe they time out, but I don't care. That's not worth my time. This hand, yeah, a blue or black source gets the hand online. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 26, including Sylvan Caryatid. Drawing to 26 outs in our 73 card deck. That is roughly 1/3, slightly better than 1/3. And it took us 5 draw steps instead of 3 to hit the thing we were looking for. And I think if we find it within 3 draw steps, we're fine, based on how that game went. But I could also see Multi 5 being the correct answer there. On to the next one. This matchup sucks regardless. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. On the draw, in round 4, my hand can ramp and do stuff. I'm going to keep it. Oath of Nissa. It looks like some mono green has entered the chat. I mean, we might just get shithoused by mono green, but at least it's not Lotus Field. Zagoth Triome makes green and makes Drowned Catacomb untapped. Theotor's Proving Ground also makes green, but it also makes red. I get more colors out of Proving Ground for the same turn 2 play. Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves go, okay. Just holding up mana. Growth Spiraling won't. Even if I hit the Leyline Binding, I can't cast it here because I'll only have 4 land types. Because Drowned Catacomb's not actually an island. There's the Nykthos. There's Polukranos. I would love to draw an answer to that before they untap with Nykthos. Green-blue, Growth Spiral. Put in Zagoth Triome. Bring to Light's active next turn. I could Nahiri and just exile Llanowar Elves. Try to cut something off this board. Nahiri dies immediately, but that buys me time to Bring to Light. Yeah, I think that's where I want to be. The exile's tapped artifacts or creatures or enchantments, and Llanowar Elves I believe to be much better than Oath of Nissa on this board. It's worth 2 mana instead of 1. Oath is a legendary permanent anyway. It attacks and blocks. Pretty obviously better, just want to talk about it. So they have 4 or 5 mana right now, and they can kill Nahiri. The old 5 mana shock your Llanowar Elf feels good. Hoping they just dump out some creatures. Cavalier of Thorns, pretty good creature. Found a Lair of the Hydra and another Cavalier in the graveyard. I have Bring to Light available. What is the line with it? Supreme Verdict is here. Sunfall is here. It's probably Sunfall. That at least makes a big creature. Or a potential big creature. Farewell costs 6. That's not a card we can play, which is what I'd actually like here. Just make sure I can make the colors black, white, red, blue, green. Yes. Okay, black, white, red, blue, green. As promised, Bring to Light. And Bring to Light's gonna cast Sunfall. Oh, this does exile. Sick. I didn't even know that. Alright, cool. That was better than I thought it was. I thought I was just gonna Wrath and get a Big O, but I actually exile them and get a small O. It's number of creatures, not the total power. Yeah, that would be busted. Alright, now I know what my card does. Exile-based Wrath, good stuff. OGT, yeah, you know me. That's simply now. Air quotes free because of Nykthos. Another one. 1 card left in their hand. This is... I mean, if it's Karn, we're still just free and dead, but Kolaghan's Command actually pretty spicy. Draw here, if I can find one. I think I start with Wandering Mind and see where this turn goes. Blue. But that's my only red source, though. Still think Wandering Mind is the play. Okay. Wander, my mind. I found Binding and another Bring to Light. I think it's got to be Bring to Light here. Invest in the future. May not have a future, but I'm still going to invest in it. And I played the land so I could cycle Zagoth Triome. I think that's better than tap Zagoth Triome and chump block with Incubator. Ichthos has been tapped. What is it? What's the payoff? It's a big one. Oh, they're just firing up Lair of the Hydra. Is this trample? XX green Hydra creature. Does not trample. Interesting. Okay. I did leave up mana to cycle Zagoth Triumph, but I'm kind of pivoting now that they just fired up this 8/8. Maybe I just block that with my incubator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. If I block, then I have Niv next turn. Or I could just cycle this and chump block the 8/8. I'll do that. Cycle Zagoth Triumph. Found a land. I'm at 12. Not a whole lot of life. Maybe I get Omnath here, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Omnath, gain a life, or gain 4 life. If I had the extra land, maybe I would do it. But Growth Spiral not being a sure thing is slightly concerning. I could Bring to Light for Supreme Verdict, clear the old growth trolls. They could still make a giant lair, but I could chump it with Incubator. I wish Omnath was good here. Scarab God, not where I need to be. The Supreme Verdict is still in there. Green, white, black, blue, red. Casting, Bring to Light. If I get Niv Mizzet, I can just block one of these things. Yeah, I think Niv Mizzet is actually just the play. Not the Supreme one, the Reborn. Yeah, just refill my hand here, have a bigger creature than them. Rather than trying to sweep up and chump, I could get bigger than them. Yuck. Pretty low impact Niv, but I can cast Abrupt Decay here. Or activate my Incubator. I think incubating is better. They might just go way over the top here and kill me, but they didn't do that last turn. Let's see what they got now. Eora. Okay, they didn't have that or didn't use it last turn. They suddenly string together Kiora plus Storm the Festival. Gonna be bummed out. But they knew about Bring to Light last turn, so maybe they couldn't afford to just dump out everything into the Supreme Verdict. Another Troll, which is free on mana and replaces itself on cards. This deck is so good. 12 in the pool. Please just wake up Lair of the Hydra. If this is a Storm the Festival, I'll Abrupt Decay Kiora in response to make sure it doesn't turn into Ancestral Recall also. Oh god, Cityscape Leveler? This card? Okay, well, we are effed. A Power Stone can not do anything good for me. Can activate the Incubator token. Oh no, can activate Kiki Jiki 4 turns from now when I'm not alive anymore. Yeah, this took a twist. We'll never know if they just were playing around a Wrath out of Bring to Light last turn and they had all this ready, or if they drew the Kiora and then the Troll cantripped into the Cityscape Leveler and LOL, here we go. We'll never know, but yeah, this is the mono green life when you're behind. Even in my sideboard for this. Not much is the answer. Firing up a lair as 3/3. I think I have to just Abrupt Decay one of these. I mean, I'm literally dead, so yeah. I can chump block something or Abrupt Decay it, and I guess I'll Abrupt Decay. Which does not solve the problem, but I think it answers it better than Incubator token does. And now I'm at 3, facing down all of this. Polygon's Command. That kills Cityscape Leveler. That's not nothing. I can banish a Troll. Do I have enough mana for all this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 mana, but it's not double red. Oh no. Yeah, I needed double red to cast a creature and block. Do I just pass the turn here? Guess I have to. All I can do is see what they do and hope they mess up. I have Vanishing Verse, K Command, and a blocker. Which unfortunately they have 4 lethal attackers, and I can only answer 3 of them, so I guess I have to hope they mess up somehow. Wolf Willow Haven, 1 card left in their hand. Okay, they're making the 4/4 Troll, which draws a card. Okay. I mean, anything they do with their mana that doesn't sink into the Lair of the Hydra. If Hydra's a 2/2 or smaller, we're actually okay here. Oh, I was probably supposed to just Vanishing Verse a troll on my turn. That's 3 less mana they get with Nykthos. Doing something that costs X. I can see the MTGO interface slipping away there. They're green. Okay, so destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Okay. So here I can destroy target artifact and deal 2 to anything. Is this even worth doing? No, because I'm dead anyway. Block, kill, kill, take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. And that line costs 7. Growth spiraling. There's nothing I can hit. Alright, yeah. 1 creature short of, I mean, seeing another draw step, but then we just lose on the next turn. It's not like I was 1 away from stability. Gross. Dovin's Veto can counter Karns and stuff like that. I don't think I want to Thoughtseize or go blank this opponent. Rest in Peace does stop Storm the Festival from ripping up, and it also stops all the death triggers and makes Supreme Verdict better. I think I do want Rest in Peace. Both this is out. Once again, I'm boarding in Rest in Peace, so Niv Mizzet Supreme seems bad. Elish Norn actually does matter in this matchup. Versus Kiora and Cavalier and stuff. All the removal's good. I think this Rummage battle is less good. Omnath, Nahiri, Wraths, Ramp. These cards are all good. Might be the Scarab God. This card's nutso if you can kill their stuff and then bring it back. But Rest in Peace is part of the plan, but I only have 2 of them. And you can't bring to light for enchantments. Scarab God still seems reasonable, actually. Kolaghan's Command could break me out of Karn-related shenanigans, and it's a solid 2-for-1, even if I just kill an elf, make you discard in a low resource situation. Or buy back Wandering Mind and go off. The more I look at this, I just think it's Scarab God or Kolaghan's Command, both of which I just said good things about. Maybe it's Nahiri. Yeah, actually Nahiri is just a big clunky idiot who's not good on rate for the matchup. I don't think there's one card I can slaughter games out of them. I could see arguments for go blank on the play, but still, they dump out their hand before that, it's not good. This is that trap hand from last round where I just need a black and it's fine, but I don't have that. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay. This hand does cast my various ramp spells and stuff. I'll keep it. It's not quite on curve, but it works. And I think I gotta get rid of Elish Norn. And I'll pass the turn like this. Now I have a choice to make. I could just Dreadbore this thing, or I can put Sylvan Caryatid into play. I think I want to Caryatid. Because I don't have my next land drop lined up, and I am going to need to get to 4 and 5 and beyond mana at some point. If I had my next land drop, maybe I just Dreadbore and see if they get stuck. Okay, here's the spot we talked about just a cheeky little 2-for-1. A K command, kill Mystic, make you discard, isn't bad. Dreadbore and Kiora could slow down card advantage. If I Dreadbore Kiora and they just go land Karn next turn, I'm bummed out about it. I think I want to cut off them drawing extra cards, and Kiora is also mana. Yeah, like killing Elvish Mystic cuts off the same amount of mana that killing Kiora does, so this makes sense to me. Pick those. Great. Exactly the thing I said. My line doesn't beat that. They just play a land, untap with Kiora and Karn anyway. Stone Brain, okay. Oh god. I can K command, I can Vanishing Verse, I could hold up, I could Growth Spiral and just hope to hit any untapped land. But that's not true. It would have to be, yeah, that's Caryatid. Alright, I think I gotta figure out where this game's going before I can start Growth Spiraling. Yeah, I think I deal 2 to Elvish Mystic and make them discard a card. It's not pretty, but it's what I have. You discard a card, and I'd rather kill Mystic than put 2 on Karn. This sucks, just missing land drops like this. Bring to Light's in hand. I had the ramp spell. This would have been the BTL turn. Discarded a Storm the Festival. Just a little middle finger at me for making them discard a card. That costs a lot, but it's not a complete discard. Karn is minusing Darksteel Citadel. Okay. Sometimes you just need that land drop. If they Stonebrain Bring to Light, I get to draw a card, which I kind of have a random card than Bring to Light in my hand right now. If they name Niv, then I'm stranded with the Bring. Yep, Bring to Light. Okay, so I get a redraw for this, which the hand desperately needed. Bowman's Veto. Kinda like that, but the Karn's already in play. Theodora's Proving Ground. Okay. I hit a land drop, team. I'm going to pass with Veto or Growth Spiral up, and then we'll see what they do this turn. I don't think I veto Wolf Willowhaven. Manowar Elves, okay. They're building up for the future. Karn gets to plus. I would really like for Growth Spiral to find an untapped land that casts the other Growth Spiral here. Green, blue. No such love, but I do get to exile Karn. That was a pretty good 1-mana spell to find. Get rid of Karn. They are a Boseiju deck. Gotta watch out for that. Do I just hold up multiple pieces of interaction here? I think so, rather than just like banishing versing their Llanowar Elf. I know it's good for 2 mana, but I have removal spells and counter spells. They're down to 4 cards in their hand. That's still a lot. Dovin's Veto this. White. Blue. Oh wow, I only have 1 white and 1 blue. Oh no, there's a white here. Okay, white, blue. It's better this way because now I can block Llanowar Elf. Little cheeky point. And I can Growth Spiral. Blue, green in the end step. Fabled Passage. Get in there. I'm going to save that in case I draw Omnath. Okay, suddenly I have choices. I'm going to put Yorion in my hand and pass the turn. 2 removal spells. If they have a 3rd Karn or a Boseiju, none of that's good for me. There's a Boseiju. I have another Binding, but they do get to Karn briefly in the interim. There's some sort of correct Triome to get here. Dagoth is blue-green. I have 2 white. I can fetch another. Yeah, I think I want Zagoth. Okay, Karn immediately making a wish. Stonebrain, another one. Or it could be the same one, actually. You'll never know. Okay, Stonebrain resolves. And they poke me and name Niv this time. And I'm gonna at least Leyline Binding in response and take Karn again. Yeah, I'm running out of good cards I can play. Which they know, that was the plan. Omnath, Locus of Creation, is out of the deck. Okay, my Nivs are still alive. I'd be more worried about Niv Mizzet in this spot than Omnath. If I were my opponent. Omnaths are gone. That means I think I want to fetch now, because I have no reason to hold on to fetch lands. I would like to take the small amount of thinning and maybe draw Niv Mizzet. Bummer. Well, I'll play my Rootbound Crag and my Yorion. Leaving up black-white. I'm not going to flicker. Sad little 8-mana 4/5 flyer. That's all we get out of Yorion here. Banishing versus targeting one of these mana things does take 2 mana off their board, which might matter, but then if they play Cavalier of Thorns anyway, I'm going to feel real bad. Here's a Storm the Festival. Karn and Cavalier. Okay, just the best possible. Put a Forest into play off of that. Making a wish with Karn. Let the battle boats continue. We've certainly received a lesson in this league so far of exactly the position of this deck that I'm playing. And when you build your mid-range deck with the plan to go over the top of your opponent, but multiple of the top decks of Pioneer just go over the top of anyone, Lotus Field and Mono Green are just absolutely constructed from the ground up to go over the top of anyone. Kind of a risky business. Haywire Might. Okay, that represents another card next turn. Oh no. Another Nykthos. Okay, but they don't have mana to activate it. AYR Mice, whatever. And it's another Karn, which I was just planning to be done with Karns for a while. I'm gonna vanish the Cavalier. This thing has reach. Can I draw Niv Mizzet? Yes, I can. Okay. What do I do with this information? I think I just cast Niv Mizzet. White, blue, red, green, black. These are all black sources, but only one of them's a red source. I'm going to tab Zagoth Triumph actually for my black. All right, Niv. Opponent left these in the deck, took Omnath over it. Let's punish. Get a choice of Wandering Minds, and I get a Growth Spiral. That wasn't it, deck. Come on now. We had a deal. I'm going to Wandering Mind here. Fable the Mirror Breaker and Dreadbore. Yeah, I'll take the Dreadbore. That answers the next Karn, which is what we're here for. Just treading water against this Karn. I'll kill this one in combat. AYR Mike can set free another one. They get another Karn activation. They could Stonebrain Dreadbore to protect Karn, but now I have a flyer. 1, 2. Yep, here's this in the end step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're not quite at refiring. They're old growth trolls from the graveyard. Even though it just drew 2 cards, that Niv was still pretty insane. Do you have another Cavalier right now? Please no. 5 mana in the pool. I hate that number. Taking a wish with Karn. Get the boat. They could get... I don't know. They could get all sorts of stuff. I'll just see what they get. You got Mightstone and Weakstone. Oh, and they have Cavalier of Thorns. Cool. Yep. Everything is covered here. And this hits the land to activate Nykthos, which is good for 5, which is exactly how much the Mightstone costs. It does not kill Niv, importantly. It does kill Yorion. Niv's big enough to bash through a Cavalier and kill Karn. Yep, they're killing Yorion. Fair enough. I just sent one of my 2 rest in pieces to the bottom. Oh, Nahiri. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I can cast every spell in my hand. So I might as well start with Growth Spiral and see what happens with it. Green, blue. In case I draw a good spell here. Table's pretty good. May or may not be better than Nahiri. I think I have to Dreadbore Karn. And then just kind of hope and ignore the Cavalier for a while. Red, black. Dreadbore Karn. Because if I attack, I can beat Cavalier in combat, but it just puts Karn on top or something scarier. I think I have to just chill out for a turn. And if they attack with it, I could just take 5 and exile it with Nahiri next turn. And they have zillions of mana. There are 2 Storm the Festivals in the graveyard. I'm in a ton of trouble here. Wolf Willow Haven. Nykthos is good for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh yeah, they are easily in Storm the Festival territory. Did I have to just take my medicine and let them rebuy something with Cavalier to avoid getting stormed? Does that even avoid getting stormed? No, because Mightstone and Weakstone tap for 2. I think they still have it even if I trade with Cavalier. Or eat Cavalier. Cavalier and Oath. Okay. It's less good than it could have been. It's still pretty good. Lair of the Hydra. They found a threat off of their Oath of Nissa. And they whiffed entirely on Cavalier. Not totally true. They put another Storm in the graveyard, but they didn't hit a land. Oh, another Nykthos. Cool. 2 cards left in hand. Just show me the 4th card. Go infinite right now. Just another Storm. That's it. Don't worry. Wolf Willow Haven and nothing? Or did they have a land? That was a bad Storm. Okay. Managed to survive that situation. I'm going to loot away Sunpetal Grove with Fable. Keep the Nahiri. Then Nahiri's going to... I can loot away Forest. Oh. Wow, they scooped. Alright, interesting. Just saving time for game 3, I guess. They have 621 on their... Oh, wait. They quit the whole match. I don't know what's going on there, but goodbye. And we're suddenly 2-2. All right, Dees, on to the final round. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.events/subscribe. I'm on the draw in the final round, and I actually don't hate this hand. I'm going to keep it. It has all my colors onto me, growth spiral ramps, and I can sequence these so I end up with a triome in my hand at the end. Oh, good. We're playing against a tempo deck with the 6-lander that I kept on the strength of ramping. Okay, it's all good. I'll figure it out. I'm going to play Zeotor's Proving Ground because that makes green. Oh, God. We're just getting curiously obsessed. Starting turn 2. My deck has a lot of removal. I could still draw some of it. Also, just, I could mulligan better knowing what the matchup actually is. Okay, I'm going to pass here. And I think I'll growth spiral in combat. I don't expect them to object to this. I guess if they have like Spell Queller, that would give them an extra damage. Yeah, they don't care about this. So I want Spara's HQ. White, blue is what I want access to, because Supreme Verdict is my way out of this. Proving Ground needs a plains and an island to get... Alright, I'm going to put in Spara's headquarters, because that gets me all the way to Leyline Binding, which cannot be spell quelled or soft countered from this position. Not that I have that card. Okay, I'm going to play Clothis. It's going to get countered in some fashion, but this is literally the spell that I have, and I have no other spells. Yep. Quelled my spell. And I'm going to play Overgrown Tomb tapped right now, and keep alive the idea of maybe cycling to see another card. Oh, this thing is so curious. When they're representing Rattle Chains, this is just the Spirit Nut draw versus an opponent offering 0 resistance. This is mildly disgusting. I kept the hand that I kept, but also I think that hand is fine in most Pioneer matchups. Okay, I'm going to play Sun Petal Grove, and Wandering Mind's actually pretty solid here. Red, blue, colorless. I'm leaving up the lands that cast the best removal spells. Abrupt Decay. Okay. Abrupt Decay is better than Leyline Binding. It still doesn't beat Rattle Chains, but I am going to cast it right now before they untap with Spell Queller too. And there's Slip Out the Back. There's just all this stuff. Yeah, Rattle Chains. I know. I was not surprised. Just can't play around it. You've drawn 6 extra cards this game. I'm going to block the one that draws 2 cards if it hits me, because the way they're attacking with the chains like this, they're representing Supreme Phantom at instant speed. Yep. Oh my god, what? I am surprised and shocked by that. We just got to draw Supreme Verdict right now. Is the deal. Bulky God Allies, that's not it. Alright. Super smashed by that. Kept a hand in the blind that I would still keep in the blind every single time, but not rewarded. I kind of like Thoughtseize to see what they're cooking with and figure out how to dance around it. Knowing what their soft and conditional permission is worth a lot. Once again, Clothis, not helpful here. Sunfall's fine. Scarab God, not helpful here. I do like all my big flyers. I like all my removal spells. Wandering Mind, really good here. Omnath good. Ilish Norn. They have some stuff that cares about this. I guess I'll leave it. And Nahiri, pretty awkward. Okay, this is what I got. I don't think I'm going to be winning Counter Wars with Dovin's Veto. My important cards cost 5. And their whole deck costs 1 and 2. Also, some percentage of their counter spells are creatures. I'm in for this hand. It's got removal, it's got ramp, it's got a big payoff at the top end. I'm going to play Proving Ground because Breeding Pool covers Zagoth Triome, and this adds red to my available mana. Wanderer. Ooh, interesting. The Thoughtseize is cool, but I'm gonna invest in Sylvan Carrier to this turn, then I can Thoughtseize plus Decay next turn to pick apart what they're doing. I'm worried about Curious Obsession right now. Yep, there it is. Holding up Abrupt Decay would have been a reasonable option there, but basically Curious Obsession replaces itself, and then Abrupt Decay kills the Wanderer and the Aura. I'm gonna Thoughtseize first. Or do I Abrupt Decay first? No, because if they slip out the back, I don't want my back slipped out of. Thoughtseize you. Shacklegeist slip out the back. Oh my god, what? Okay, Invasion of Gobakon, that's pretty cool. Geistlight Snare, doesn't matter. Supreme Phantom doesn't matter. It takes slip out the back, just like we drew it up. Who's got their back slipped now? Zagoth Triome and send it. They're probably gonna Gobakon me this turn. Oh no, not with this mana, they're not. Oh, they don't have white mana. That's even better. Cool. Okay, they have Geistlight Snare. These spells do not have flash, so at the cost of developing their board, they have held up a counter spell. I think I just put Yorion in my hand because they need to develop something at some point, and when they do, they won't be able to snare me anymore. Oh, come on! Through a flash threat, one unknown card, of course. Brutal. And there's a white source in the future. And back to perfect information. Not that it's much consolation in this situation. Alright, I'm just going to ram Yorion onto the stack. It is a must counter because it's bigger than all their stuff. But it's also the worst card in my hand. Hold 8 mana Duress. Can't pay 3 for this. Geistlight Snare's gone. Go. And then they can Gobakon, exile a non-land card, as long as that card remains exiled. So it's that card. It's not like Anointed Peacekeeper or all versions of the card. So I have 2 different Niv Mizzets in my hand right now, basically. Took the Brain Delight, and I have the actual Niv. They have 1 unknown card in their hand. Oh my god. Please don't be Geistlight Snare. You know it's going to be, though. They could have added mana to the board and then didn't. That sucks. Alright, well, I'm just going to shove my card. White, green, blue, red, black. Show me the Geistlight Snare you drew this fucking turn. Yep, I know. Yeah, whatever. Outrageous. All you can do is cast your spells, though. I mean, I'm losing if I don't. And I still have the Sunfall, so if they just pivot now and dump out all their creatures, I can Wrath. Yeah, the Light Shield Array gives creatures hexproof and indestructible, which is not protection from Sunfall. Come on, run out the Geist, coward. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, they're Hellbent with a Mutavault. I would rather cast Brain Delight, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, Shacklegeist just taps it. That's not even true. I can do that in the future someday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I can get the 4/4 immediately if I shock in Watery Grave. Okay, white, 3, 4, 5. The sun has fallen. Light Shield Array does not save you here. Yeah! Dope. Okay, cool. Gotta push through one way or the other. Go Blank is almost tempting, just for those spots where they very obviously have a counterspell. But it's so bad if they have anything on the board already. But this Rummage spell kind of sucks, though. Not in a hurry to cast that one. I am going to bring in Go Blanks and try to head them off wherever they are. They have the onboard turbo version where I have all my removal, and then they have the hang back and counter stuff where I have discard spells in my deck now. Okay, turn 2 Dreadbore is pretty good. Can't turn 1 Thoughtseize, unfortunately, but I am going to keep this hand. It needs some help on the mana front, but it casts 2 spells. Just enough for me to start with. See, Chrome Coast, go. Love to see it. Sacred Foundry does not untap Woodland Cemetery, so I'll just run that one in tapped. Did not go back on me. They can Lofty Denial this turn, but not if I play my land first. I'm just playing around the soft counters that I know they play. Rattle Chains, yep, might as well put it into play. Slip out the back Spectral Sailor and Invasion of Gobakon. These are all kind of annoying. I have two removal spells now. I can only cast one of them. Slip just costs less than Invasion. Do I even care if I get slipped though? Like, what if I just take Spectral Sailor and then pile removal on their one thing? Yeah, I'm actually going to take the creature here. Call me crazy, but I think it's fine. Kind of sad the Sacred Foundry's not in play, but I played around a counterspell that I saw. I'm not going to apologize for that. Took Abrupt Decay. Interesting. A card I cannot cast. And they're starting to work on the invasion. That makes sense. Slip out the back. The last card I know in their hand right now. Alright. You know about Dreadbore. Cast Dreadbore. Slip it out the back. Yep. Dreadbore doesn't work. Sacred Foundry tapped. And then I have another Dreadbore. And they can spend their invasion on it. This Rattle Chains will be 4 power minimum at the end of their turn. But, oh, I need white and blue to get to Supreme Verdict. I'm miles away from that thing. Okay, invasion is undefended now. Mausoleum Wanderer and Supreme Phantom. Okay. That's a lot of stuff. Proving Ground. Play that. Dreadbore the Rattle Chains. And they can counter this regardless, so what's actually doing the most damage here? I mean, Rattle Chains is just huge. Alright, red, black. Dreadbore the Rattle Chains. They know I have Abrupt Decay online for next turn. Yeah, they're countering this with this, and then they have Light Shield Array next turn. This is not a blue or white source, so Supreme Verdict is not even live. They're just out here doing their thing. This is 6 this turn, will be 8 next turn. Oh, good. They drew another one of those. They probably take Nahiri. Yep. Alright, deck. How about a blue source? Blue source? Omnath? No! I didn't want another Omnath. That's not what I meant when I said Omnath. Okay. I'm gonna Abrupt Decay the Rattle Chains, and they're gonna Light Shield Array to save it. And then they have another Light Shield Array for the next turn. Jesus. I'm so dead. That invasion was such a good draw. Yeah, they flipped the other array. They have me dead on board. Supreme Verdict doesn't even get it. Omnath doesn't help anymore because I can't gain life. That was good stuff. This is completely destroyed. This Valky could technically become a blocker for a turn. Doesn't do anything though. Alright, I'm going to cast Valky. See if they somehow have a spirit that they don't flash in, which does not seem possible because of Rattle Chains. Yep, okay, just a land, and we're dead. GG. Absolute kicking against spirits. I gave them a game 1 for free with that just hand that was bad for the matchup, but fine for other places. Okay, so in summary for this Yorion control deck, obviously, you can build your deck however you want. Like, Slaughter Games could be in the main. We could have different tech for different matchups. It's a toolbox deck, and you have to decide what tools you want in your box. And just getting absolutely obliterated by Lotus Field decks twice in a row. They were non-competitive, not even close. Not even after sideboard did I have any chance in hell against those two decks. And that is something that can be addressed in the sideboard. Like, we're not playing any Damping Spheres. We're not doing anything like that, but we could be. The main deck Slaughter Games as well. It gives you some movement against those combo matchups that go over the top of you. We kicked that green-black mid-range deck straight into hell, and that was not even close, and we should farm that matchup. And then mono green. We were doing some grindy stuff, and then they put the match. Like, we had a game 3 coming. I'm not even sure we were winning game 2, but I guess they had somewhere to be. But you can see how that one can go back and forth, and you can at least 1-for-1 your way through it until you find a 2, 3, 4-for-1 and start to pull ahead. We could at least see proof of concept with that. And then the Spirits matchup, we saw proof of concept with that too, where if your draw lines up right against their type of interaction, you can win. And if their stuff lines up right against yours, you can't win. And I think that's a tough spot to be. I think this deck is fun. I like that this archetype exists, but the idea that we are a mid-range deck that can go big when it needs to go big and go medium when we need to go medium. Look at Pioneer. Just the two different Lotus Field decks that were completely non-competitive. The mono green deck going way over the top of us. We were able to grind back a little bit, but still, the potential of that deck's insane. The Spirits deck just sprinting to the end game, just running right past us like we weren't even there. And it's tough to be a kind of big mid-range deck in a format where you can be combo or even bigger while also being smaller. Like mono green's the insane example of that, where they're a deck that can just poop out a bunch of 4/4s on turn 2 and win the game that way, but then they can also go infinite with Karn in the mid game and late game. In our sideboard, like, again, if mono green is what's holding you down, you can pack your sideboard with sweepers and removal and different kind of stuff for that matchup. We didn't play against any Rakdos decks, which I think would be the interesting test, because I've played local RCQs and Rakdos is insanely popular, and I imagine this deck is pretty good at going over the top of them. But mono green is also. If mono green isn't the #1 deck, Rakdos is, and vice versa. And just having a suspicious matchup against one of them, even if you have a good matchup against the other, that's a tough spot to be. If you're going to take a deck like this into a competitive setting, you need to know exactly what your metagame is, or you need to suspect what your metagame is. You need to know exactly what your problems are, and you need to use every slot to solve them. Like this Invasion of Urgamon, just, yeah, solid card. It's a Gruul 2-color card. You can hit it off Niv Mizzet. It does some card stuff, some selection. Hard to argue with this card as a Magic card. However, what problem is it solving in the context of the metagame? If this was another sweeper of some kind, or like main deck Thought Erasure, like something that can give you a chance, maybe this should be the Slaughter Games. If these two slots are like Slaughter Games and Thought Erasure, then that's 2 cards for combo and control that the deck currently has 0 of. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. We're really using every single slot to the best of its ability. Eilish Norn looks cool, pops your deck off if she ever comes into play, but also just Lotus Field is a part of this format. Permanents entering the battlefield trigger. It doesn't trigger. Okay, thanks for the Lotus Field. That's risky. Maybe this should be something else that specifically solves a problem. And that's where I would want to be if I was really working on this deck. Lotus Field is a problem. It needs to be solved. Give yourself a chance in the main deck and something heavy in the sideboard. Mono green is a problem that needs to be solved. We have sweepers. We have bigger creatures than them. We do technically have a chance, but on the draw against their nut draw, this deck can never win. And just something to solve that. The Sunfall is great, though. That is a great piece of tech. That was a huge part of our victories. Stuff like that. Maybe use some of these flex slots to really target those matchups that we're way behind in. That is the gift and the curse of a deck like this. You can play any card, and you get a lot of them, but then, what should they be? You could go crazy doing this. That's Magic the Gathering, and it's part of the experience. Wash, thank you for sharing this with me. I hope my thoughts were helpful. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.